Okay. Enti yamrafie, ya started their free. Election year muni away, nti bibia ekoso o man mu bia is geared towards election. Abato aye kotono, very crucial afi. Na o man mu na okase abato emfa wo ho a na unnim sebe de e man na ekoso de meka no se eye wahi o enye wahi o se okase abato mfa wo ho a na wankasa o man no unnim because e fa wo ho pa ye to abakwan bia so a ubenya ho nsunsanso ekoyi a ubenya ho nsunsanso ankoyi so a ubenya ho nsunsanso ni bi utu free Ghana kura ha ubenya ho nsunsanso di mama obi ankasa abato de mfa ne ho na ye bekọ abato yi amampanyi bebre ye wo eye Kwame Bediakon independent or unity so obegina enenso me drew a friend say Achimota me hu say nyom bi boy APC na ekọ metwa mani na ayarega enso abrande ne car ono so edim bi na amampanyi ni twetwe omoti no New Patriotic Party omo leader Dr. Alhaji Mahamadu Baumia so the National Democratic Congress NDC party nso His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na ono de obedi bida na opese osan ba no oto ne nsa friends and trofo say obia mebusa ne question bia ope na compare say nsentrofo a wo krom ha de menka say di omo magidin but mpanyimfo omo wo mu bebre ebai anasa omo asesi e omo ye very vociferous omo ebepiem ewo dwumadi no ase na media houses a omo so egina omo na so nyina no omo nsentrofo ne bebre eba ase na dwumadi no Ria Mahama ese question bia opebia from every sector no busa na obisa wia na ono ankasa odi bia to aso na ye dia ye ka no sports na we di odi kan kafa sports ho ono ne vision before say yebeba de yenso yebusa no wase nti yenkotie former president John Dramani Mahama sports o se niema ehia no pa na oba odinani beko ho no obo so ntentem kakra yetie.
Let me also assure the sports fraternity that we shall develop our stadium infrastructure for track and field sports, will fix the deteriorating football pitches, and pay stipends to footballers in the Premier League like we promised in 2020. Let me also assure the sports fraternity that we shall develop our stadium infrastructure for track and field sports, will fix the deteriorating football pitches, and pay stipends to footballers in the Premier League like we promised in 2020. What we call the lesser known sports shall also receive equitable attention like we give soccer.
Ode in some way no me pacho say among for complaining say yen sign and go over by yebe coin no so bi o wie ye no na yakobisa no sports say e dia na ono ankasa opese ode eba apart from the wa boss no we no so obedwe ho ayeden na meka say question no emranwie na afei yembo achiri kakra.
I'm sorry I missed the question on sports, and one was whether we intend to provide a world-class sports stadium. It says that we don't have a world-class standard sports stadium.
Said on sports. As a nation that prides itself as a sports nation, we currently do not have any world-class or international category A stadium. Sami said on sports. As a nation that prides itself as a sports nation, we currently do not have any world-class or international category A stadium in the whole of Ghana, despite millions of dollars sunk as creating infrastructure for the sports. what is Mr. President's vision in getting the best of infrastructure to unearth talent? And to tie that in with the 24-hour economy, we travel around and see that sports is a very massive part of nightlife in countries even in Africa, but Ghana's sports is designed that after 6 p.m. we all go back to sleep because of the lack of facilities and other amenities to enhance the creation of jobs in the night for sports. What is or how is the 24-hour economy designed? I've heard from our great trade business. How will that capture and affect sports so that we have around the clock sports development and enhancement in the country? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I'm sorry I missed the question on sports. And one was whether we intend to provide a world-class sports stadium. It says that we don't have a world-class standard sports stadium. We've been to several countries. We've gone to watch matches. I've been to Wembley before, and it's a stadium of a different class from what we have here. And often countries are energized to build this stadia if you bid to host something. It creates the opportunity because you know that you get returns on the investment when the tournament comes to your country. And so I remember when we bid for the African Cup of Nations, some rehabilitation of stadia took place, but we didn't see any news, world-class stadium built. In the current crisis in which we are, I would not stand here and promise that we will build a new stadium, but I've said that under the big push, we intend to spend a certain amount of money over 5 years on providing a good infrastructure to include roads, bridges, agro-industrial parks, and so on and so forth. That could include sports facilities. And if we make allocation, then we probably would look at providing such a stadium. And so that's what I can say. Sports, if you go to many countries, sports plays a very good part in the 24-hour economy. And so you find games being played at night under floodlights and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, here in many places, we have to close the match before the sun goes down. Otherwise, there's not enough light to continue the match because we can't even keep the floodlights on. And so I do think that as part of the 24-hour economy, sports can play a very good part, and we'll invest in sports facilities and help the people engaged, the private sector engaged in sports facilities to be able to provide, service at night so that our people can enjoy that service. During the working day, people go to work and things. In the evening, they want to go witness a football match or go witness an athletics meet. And we don't have exactly the facilities to sustain that. And so it's something that we will think about.
From his points, perspective on sports, back to what the question was asked. Listo, I'm starting through.
Zuba, Mira Hukakra.
Your microphone here.
Yeah, Mira Hukakra.
Yeah.
The entire Mira Hone say, where senior sports so big. I will share a political leaders. Ubo no Moshia GPR2 for Omoshia TUC for Omoshia Mutumisha student. Omushia a year for, but sports for Omushia. And a clear say, Oshe a year and Niswadi Huna, His Excellency Mahama, edited Jaya. It is not something make my say be engaging key stakeholders and son or more the more design a year that particular plan on person on the ban because a Ghana Premier League DNA. Especially football there now. It is clear, sir. The problem I face is here, and I said the level of your game, they don't know. omu nim the level of your game send your TCC. Yes, a good. And now make chance catch him say in the past na government need to ema stipends no more footballers. More agencies near the area. But me believe say it's a good idea say be ma players no who be comfortable be your mechanic there. But that alone will not solve a game ni sani aye den. I say no, that alone will not be able to solve it. So me my dream na I think say before I be your manifesto no. Me sure say around there be money cut mono. If they want to get access to these people, it will be very easier. Say you propose ani ade we ni ya football no be den. You bet me improving.
But you have to understand say or your opposition leader.
Yes.
Say or draw the manifesto na omba wa. You cannot go say oh command input. We know the country that we are in.
Obama.
And it's dangerous. I understand the point,
Yeah.
but you also have to understand your environment.
True.
True,
True, but
say Ketokrekua sorry na ye hu oni Mahama. Yes, so akwa command input on how to improve football. Because I then one farmer the otiso no. And ebe how football for so mo frɛ say oh we are designing a policy so Ket and Randy brings bibi awa beboa near the shape fine, but they cannot work together.
Obama, sisi ano, ye nyina nim say your political season.
Yeah.
Right. Into political season, ene omo tu no de obewi ni bia e wo sunsuaso e wo all the sectors. Into me point am making ni say e wo so mo meet two political heads no. Say you believe say be in the next 5 years, in the next 6 years, in the next 10 years. This is what we think. Say yeah, a bit may improving in game and improving ye. And the Brazil model na wo honom. Yes, simple so bet me adapt am there. But from almost the point of view, say behwe no my tia players in the Canada. And as my mom be kakra their support you. A good idea because your uncle for almost so said nurses for near there, they be more training, almost so allowance near there. No problem about that. But I'm looking at the bigger picture, and I think there was a football for no, and it to be proactive. Like
Yeah.
This is what I want to say because omo wo ha no mka so okay yenko share TUC a chese omo ni made a TUC for no betumi ade aye de amomo yenko share boso kan for omo ni made aboso kan for no be de e betumi aye amomo nti out of their own will no omo nkasa ye de ekushia omo si wo hu I think say no mo be boa ma yen sports ni yen football no betumi eni betumi adane with aye stadium of course ye hia world class and there no doubt about this so man ye hia bi because they say stadium na ye wo ni nyina ba kokura ni wa ebetuma meet say car fire aye say oye chencheranchen enya de yebebo gan yebebo bo ha sei iti e wo say omutumi hwe na proper renovation ni ebetuma aye upgrade because say yeba be host can 2018 you see aye 2 and you renovate 2 no and you upgrading it to certain standard so if this time you betuma upgrading amana kwa certain standard e bi akra ne aye kumase a I think say no mo be den ebeboa na yen hwe de gugu nwura mu no you be making sure say you be renovating you putting it to very good use.
Okay.
So na be nyama be koye. And today I think say it was a beautiful encounter and I think say now go na sports we are na.
I'm not sure.
We were camera nkwa o. Nkwa ntino ba. Say na
senior Michael
I met you like I said the responsibility that also say or say
me
Obama say that camera the down so yeah Obama it was way and I think say you could clearly see say we saw an honest answers and honest and tough questions and honest answers. I think say Dr. Baumia also making himself available Obama it was a force America come democracy do 600 years 400 years crown you see them you see mienu no be jam ye de to ma no it's a force any kwan so be adwane o ni ye to aba no ma wi anu aba be de ope e wo se ye tumi bisa ye interrogate you
okay
I say ye we there Mr. Baumia also make yourself available doctor na fe bibia tumi ye de nkoye
Kofi and I encounter with the former president
Obama first of all my member central for Mokoe Mabaso
yes
and questions are mubusa in spot on. And former president to make sure said you bet me answer biano, obey answer. And na me happy kwan of us answer the questions be because we are saying any ho and me wogidie say waba akonwa ne so da nti wabenya say experience no e obi a oba foforo a nke bia anka oh my yes stadium 80,000 capacity amamo monko pass ase
ono wa hu bi da
nanka wabeke kan sa ye nanka asori ko
kano pay na dab ya pump
you 80,000 seater yes stadium there ben ne bo front page but o kire say ohwe enei Ghana aho kire wa ha ene economic crisis obi a wo ma ontumi nka zo be stadium da and obi o Ghana ha bia agitum se yehia se be stadium mo no yehia se be stadium mo no de na no yekoyi from Rwanda ba e se na nya stadium mo no old stadium ase no kwa na ase chen ye die enom renovate yehia se be nya facelift ewo ye stadium ni bi ebi nso wo ho a ye be hia total upgrade say upgrade you know and ade a o kan amani giye say kwan be fa so mo be na omo off the pitch ne omo pitch ni so you obi abe enjoy Obama say we athlete e wo ha Ghana ha we volleyball player we hockey player one here who dream say obetimi use sa talent na nyame de me no one here enyi adwuma because our facilities no ye nibi e wo ha eno ne ade a e wo se ye hyase ne ye ho adwuma and uhwe na nsem na okan na one base ne answers ni na football o make sure say okan kra ba bi say the term in lesser known sports no o mu nyina o be make sure say obi abenya ne so ne de ya na nsem no mu yi anu say ya na ede ba say o mu nya akunwa na ekwe on be fa so on be implement no na ya na e problem ya te de de chen we 2016 ya te nsem e de pa na na dum ma ye nsem e de ka se obi omuka so obi ana no de bro for ka say sugar de sugar ma for say sugar coated west ya te ni nyina okurum ha but at the end of the day no e de na ye hu Obama the main problem no e ye enipa o mo appoint wo mo e wo sa institutions be brie no said the okay be ya e be gina na sports minister obeyi no so obetimi a plan as a president said the na do plan as a president and the multi purpose akanwure mu no obetimi a plan but want me and supervise plan na ujai ma sector ministers na ombese o plan no
right
obetimi renovate stadium aye bibia ba do koma eye obi te se professor Twumasi a o plan em obi te se NSA boss yo o sesi on kwa de minim ni drimpo sa no o ye plan bia na de adwuma ne koma sa nkofo na embem because omuntimi emmo ade na wa ye no omuntimi mmɔ ho ban because ye nyina nim se ade a ha o man no ye maintenance culture aye ni enti se esipon obetimi renovate aye bibia wo so wo ye but se wanya good minister mikaita mana misano obi e ka asma jeje di oyo na ni ministers no want to be da jeje di oyo na ni ministers no atamels zo oyo na ni ministers no enti e kire se omo benya akonwa na omo delegate powers bi di ma omo no omo na ya na ese omo adwuma because yet oman mu ye nya gie hutum se ase oman ne de sports die eba Africa if not the best one of the best because time ye nya Olympic champions no na Morocco ni wan no Olympic games no omutimi konya champion bia o time ye boxers dominate world no na sa Egypt Senegal Nigeria for kra omwa ha ya no omu ni sa boxers ni bi but ye den na nei yentimi nya sa boxers yentimi nya sa athlete ni bi o because say ye infrastructure developers ankrofo yin nyina ministers bi o mo bae e be yi o mani fi o e de o mo hu ko share football nko amu Ghana hanko na Black Stars e kwa akọbọ friendly match a minister to play money FA president ene na be unu bi no ajai o mo maka no ho enei se o ye story so see ye be call Olympic games Omo edo omo kono budget ese government na ede ma omo no be sin ye nti obi anka. But some for now more chance. So I'm convince Ghana for the next 4 years. I'm promise you heaven or sports. I'm promise you say I'm promise you heaven or sports. Enti so obo obeye no obetimi aye no ye be successful and say you're successful. Ghana Premier League ni de Obama players na see etu omo command bia kra enche say it be ko bobosia de break kokofo so omo nua koko ni emfa nkwa ama no ne koko ton one ton grass say be to kudus but I had a player baako enkwa et minya $20 million from the ho let's can call baby foforo but say ke ba o my we mu a nko man ne benya tax dey free ho enti
okay
ade bi o mo ya ma clubs ni bia so mo make sure say o man ne benya ho mfa so yes say e bia enei me ba betua allowances dia ma eye Premier League clubs na tra kwa si etua ma wo mo o je allowance na sa the players e ko Djibouti a sa ne o man nyina o si ese terms and conditions dey e wo sika no so and sika no so metua o mo mamunya du say dey be o metimi the terms and conditions na gu so because yentimi me hwe players no kwa ebra o man nya ho mfa so o man mfa so ebenya ne dey o man mfa so ebenya ne say ye beto o mu sika ebekwa bia no Ghana betimi nya ho tax ebeba krom Ghana betimi nya ho tax o man mfa so obi ni say on be representing nation no our tournament no mo man ni dini akosoro enti yeda na se ye twa ni nuata ono so mekere de ono so betimi aye
well ata ba akoko aka ata foforo Esther Abankwa the hot red girl
oh fine
and ma hu ho
what's say
ma hu program na say the obo ba bia
the medical crack ko hu meeting and akom ho kakra
okay ti me call by ase na mo ka kire me say o mo na on plan bibia
you fa no o de one ka kire o de
na wo ko hu meeting no pa enya nwumre na de okọ no ai na be
I found him say when ubisa question na me meeting na me hear response or the maya idea back when I call my dream like was running through my mind. I was like government here like omuni wa de kakra when something happens no mo hu say ade pa de sabi ankanya ye na yama incompetence edi enimu a anka obi entina nchen krampo nko bisa question say ye ni national sports stadium a ye betumi abo games ho how many years now na former finance minister Kacha say Esipon Sports Stadium na ka 10% ni ewie
we say for 4 years
how many years now
4 years never
10% ye ntumi anye 10% ne da ama se say
10% na ekontompo so no oboa say asan say
but otumi okojina mrahye bedwam ekoka say oma ye wie kra manaka 10% na wa ye wie manaka 10% 10% na aka wontumi amfa nso so
eka
ohwe ade baako a sports edi enya kese pa ye infrastructure ye wo deficit kese wo ho pa eni nti krampo na ni ye fence tama mo sha say yes omo yes youth resource centers ahudu edi amaye no ankanya bia no krampo this current government could have been able to complete it. Betumi aye ewie etu ase. Na nka omu wie no at a point and so weka ya Accra Sports Stadium see renovation wo ho.
Right.
Almost $4 to $5 million in a say renovation wa Accra Sports Stadium. But he say krampo ntumi krampo mbo national competitions krampo Accra Sports Stadium.
Phase 1 no.
Phase 1 no. Sika e say but ntumi krampo embo any competitive game bia wo ho no.
Okay.
Otina na odwum otum say ade baako a this government omambo mo humodin ye bako kra wo ho a honestly from the current
but aban we nso na from omo communication omo invest power sports infrastructure
say da woka ye am America and bra or last week or so na me to na bi besi madre mu of aka say ye be host all African games no me te asese no mo ye boteman
yeah
na sika na mo de ye na nye sika ketwa na mo so mo de almost $120 million na mo de ye boteman na no mo wie am be ni games village after some be ni games village wie no don't mind University of Sports Development Emma mampeni ankasa na ekojina kate so do mu ye bibie wie ye afa ko wie tire no oma mfa nko boteman and then they decided to do a renovation of it rather than normally all African games no enti sanko hwe sika krampo a this government on paper through on wanga some pronunciation say on my year almost allocated for sports and some of these infrastructures na say still now we are at where we are zero bibie ni what they are eya homete definitely in some former president Eken say oba renovate at their mind we are hoping say enkonkoye it wouldn't add up to one of those promises I had to pay ABBNC na ombedi omoboshe so because this is a clear thing now so much me baba yeah I'm sure say they are going to have the vote of sports and yana I always wonder say yana whether they take into consideration the number of people involved when it comes to air sports.
Boteman ade na wokan no. Menti ase da wo. Unse na ye stadium na no musi.
Yeah.
Na wo hwe My Joy Online 31st of August 2021 and ye kate sort for the construction. African Games 2023 Akufo-Addo cut sod for 145 million Boteman Sports Complex.
Okay.
Now, President Kate sod no. Omoka says stadium no ebe for 50,000 capacity. Which means sika nanka ye de babesi sa stadium no 145 million.
Yes.
Ye 50,000 capacity. But stadium na omu see the omu ye no ho sisi ano. A complex kwa by no say 145 million.
Yes. And I know you complex no renovation no. Renovation no because the actual one Sankomu see now Mokate sword August 2021 no. The main purpose was that Sankomu via National University of Sports Development. Include Bibia and Kebe to Mienya. And Chelsea then now Okati sword now Okaso the $145 million at the Bayer Ama Wenya University in the long run. So yeah, who host 2 games Nivia. Now if you when see Saddick Wakana no. Then we must do a renovation part of it, and I'll do a complex for all African games. Are we now? So we also was say the same $145 million.
Stadium winning.
Stadium winning.
Do share away now story now. City FM online there capture no. 21st August there no. The stadium was to capacity no. Now no be 50,000 capacity. The whole Ghana can never be the biggest stadium. And another cost no nyina wo ho no ye 145 million. And you know 2021. A proposed 50,000 Olympic stadium.
Yes.
And nanka be ye bibia nka ye malego no. Nanka sa facilities na na ye ho. Ni nyina bi wo ho. But no ye 145 million dollars. To the enfan say no a rise called 200 million. The stadium which will be sited at Boteman in the Greater Accra region will cost an estimated 200 million. What you say?
Yes.
And the cost no rise by 200 million. And I yakwa kosi sa
University of Ghana for
University of Ghana there 16 million.
And your renovations.
And your renovation $60 million. And you send the never hodada. And you only renovate here. And about them an ancillary project and on a track anyway in indoor no. Nanke beka 200 million no. And non quite 145 million. I don't know fancy Olympic Stadium man
say na hu so wicked.
Make you wonder be a mentia say.
Say Madrid who say
300 million cry yeah 50,000 capacity stadium.
Crane see ho crane sanya University of Sports ne crampo wo maimu crampo a. Because the whole of Africa no South Africa for pen omo bi. And Tianki to me, yeah, we could have gotten
It
this.
means say Asamba back. I think yes, I'm Olympic Stadium. But cost tonight a day we near.
And only I see the
Because
Obama adewe honorable Esiama so Otian Rebel Hopa. Unim say initially ono no designing everything. Ono no ye bibia information minya and say yes sir. You know botema no na ma na yi born yes ye yin efi.
commercial facilities na wo ho I say $145 million na stadium 50,000 be ka ho ana nke be 200 dia. I don't know any emphasize $55 million.
I'm fans so
Obama the omo cost spending we no say even baby a okofo be dalegon we no mo ko han ye no. Say oka nu bom na oka renovation no mo ye we close to 30 million.
Now be internet from there be $3 million.
Close to it because baby omo die anyway no. Now oka bom a na ka kitua bi no mo do 2 million.
Anyway,
$2 million.
Mama,
That's around the hostels some $2 million.
I believe say almost to me said all cano ya to abano na so ba to me e born homodin edin kunim na so ba na obeya it is going to be a huge plus to his credit. Ye hu sa kosombo da ma ya nkasa ye mampeni otwemu ko e de ma ye didi ho a and I'm sure say so to me ba no be renovation me nya a national sports stadium a be ye a lot of good and I feel so e be ma the NDC is showing a lot of credit because what is to say it is the onya kwenye bia so betumi aye na nke ba na sports infrastructure there aba be mu kwame nkroma but wanye nti the Mahama kan say nye na no keke no de kan so ba na oba ya mpani ampa there then NDC for ombetumi nya di power Ghana for e ho mi pa
Doc panyi due mante wrap up mama na menkwe
o me de kitwa bi me kan say de na Esther kan esipon me kan sipon asem on say eduba bi mbeka ya na inya report say ya ye esipon stadium no aka 10% ya ye 90% aka 10% no be here $3 million pay to finish the whole thing sambukai me am to car and me bloggers echo because na me ntiase na ne bi na me ntine bi ase me koi and I'm going to try and ban and catch it. And I don't go for the president said, Nana, me, my coffee, as long as come bois. What is 3 million man, JD? $20 million crab book. As long as we because you're actually your home. Oh, then only born an ambasso and no Otiasia, one first car, about 3 million more. Otiasia, or ya dear. Come on, JD, qua. Auntie, your kind say. O minister be pointing to say onhwe we su no eno de asembe ba hwe seska mo kan wasem nyinaa o say etre ba kopɛ de wontu nya hwe o but o lieutenant sa obe sisi o so me hade ama wo no o me begu anim ase o so o me begu anim ase bo se cruise pa tete sports council ho almost some money panka ho almost some money panka ho oh na na me this time my decided say me say no me job politics
Obama
we na me ba ma me just say me no me a tiny dozen do no cry me kanti a tiny dozen me so do a tiny dozen one man so me didn't create to do so a time because what kind of crowd no man penny food be see any now see me then my age me that he say be a mijayo because he say me decide say sani money na no they drone there enough is enough because no I say me job politics no na me time baby na a time come from gakra whoever win bia no
okay baby
now you
okay
Obama
problem be any
I say no
do you say side and ba for politics some politics bia say
Matias offer
a time come from gakra now so say time dozen the bunim sa
minim pa
that's how like me go to America na mind dey say so me you be ahwe o papa nko na me ye and so esan say
papa dey out TV but dem kakra me fra
the print boni ba come
oh there be say we say
atifuti wo me ma chance one boni pa ma ye no
wo ka so de mbeko goyel wo mfa me
oh
mpo
no ye boni e Brennan Krabia
enya bone listen
Obama nti parliament approve
aha
195,255,153 dollars for facilities for all African games and African games. $145 million echo into Butema Sports Complex. $34 million echo into University of Ghana Stadium renovation. And a 16 million echo Games Village. Into 195 million.
But in 270 million.
In excess. But the initial way and be included bia my
one no.
And only 200 million. And omko use 195 at the year skirmishes no.
Yababo ya commercials bi by Yabeko Axim na yeko Axim so a omo call demonstration wo ho. Mesra mo say Kingsmen Travel and Tour ese Canada abin sisia dependent visa working abroad open travel consultancy